is welcome. Thank you for joining us today. End of a long journey, but the start of a much longer journey, much more positive journey than it's been for the last couple of years. Just want to say, first of all, this is being recorded. So this will record everything you see on your screen, but we're going to crop it just to include the video. So if you do flash up on the video or so on, you don't want to be on it, you don't worry, you won't be. We're just going to crop the actual the presentation itself. So if, like I said, if anyone has a problem with that, just keep your video off, keep your mic off, and if you've got questions and so on, please pop them into the chat. There is a section at the end of this present. You're going to be with myself and Sharon for the next sort of 45 minutes or so, and there's a space, there's time for questions and answers. So at the end of that, which we expect to get, so and suggestions as well. Hopefully we haven't missed any major things that we promised for the Wellbeing Network for launch. But so please feel free to use the chat and put questions in there, and then our colleague Jill will sort of collate those and we'll try and get through those at the end. There's going to be sort of a break, but I'm going to come to the agenda in a second anyway. So let me just get started by saying I'm sort of aware of the fact that there's a lot of people who might be completely new to this development, and you are more than welcome to be here. In fact, it's fantastic because if you've been involved thus far, that's great. But if you're new to it, then we've really got a job to sort of get you involved and kind of get you on board. So I am Richie Andrew. I work for Public Health, and I work in the mental health team in Public Health South Tees. And this is my colleague here.
I'm Sharon Chappell. I work for the Empowering Communities team at Redcar and Cleveland Borough Council.
And we both, because Public Health South Tees is a joint service. Like I work across both Redcar and Cleveland and Middlesbrough. So this is why it's a South Tees wellbeing network. We've got through to today after sort of just over 3 years of work from sort of inception of the idea through to sort of the launch. It's been quite a long road, and it would be remiss of us not to mention some thanks. So thank you to my line manager, who's eternally supportive, Tina Walker, Sharon's line manager, Jill Calvert, our Director of Public Health, Mark Adams, and our project sponsor, Alison McKenna. Also want to thank everyone who has provided feedback responses to consultations to help shape this offer and the launch as well. If you've got a microphone on, would you be able to just turn it off just so we can keep any background noise to a sort of minimum? That'd be great. So thank you to those. And also thanks to Healthwatch for their reports that have contributed towards shaping this, as well as feedback and comments. Many of which I noted, but people won't perhaps have even realised. You're just sort of watching and listening to people's feedback from partnerships, strategic groups, community groups that Sharon and I engage with, and our colleagues who, provided constant feedback about the approach as well. But it's been hard work. Sharon and I have worked hard to get to this point, and it wouldn't have got this far without people's support. So we just wanted to acknowledge that genuinely as well. So videos and mics off, questions into the chat. And bear in mind that this is being recorded to go onto YouTube for everyone to be able to see and refer to later as well. So this is today's event. This is where we're going to take you through to. We'll probably go just a little bit past 10:45, but I'm going to present and Sharon's going to pick up and show you around some bits of the website, which we're launching at 11 o'clock after our Q&A. And then the platform will be live. You'll be able to register today as well and get straight into it. And so we're going to actually have a little break for 15 minutes so people can actually go onto the website, go through the registration process, and we're going to talk you through all that as well. And then we've got a little bit of a taster of what's to come with the Wellbeing Network. We've got Catherine O'Neill and her team from Teesside University doing a 45-minute workshop, practical workshop around positive psychology as well, which is very much about kind of thriving once people are in quite a good place in their life. So we're very excited to see that, and they're just a brilliant team as well. So this is kind of everyone that's here today, everyone that's registered for the event today is kind of representing various different sectors, all different areas of the system. And I think this is one of the things we aimed for the Wellbeing Network, is to make it properly whole the system, because they're two words that are thrown around quite a lot, I think. And it's actually, well, how do you engage the whole system unless you actually have everyone in one central place, like a wellbeing network, for example. So we've got children's charities, we've got midwifery, we've got NHS, we've got DWP, we've got carers, there's loads. The list goes on. And we even started talking this morning, didn't we, Sharon, about kind of dog groomers, barbers, hairdressers, people that work in people's homes, anyone who works or even as not as an intention part of their role, who supports people's well-being, improvement in their lot in life, should be a member of the Wellbeing Network if it's done within South Tees. And so we think it's a proper whole system approach. So the story so far, well, basically about 3 and a bit years ago, I was given a piece of work to start looking at an asset-based community development approach towards improving mental health and well-being and preventing mental health problems developing. And so I started to then embark on a sort of listening and watching exercise, and it involved looking at lots of reports and trying to work out what the gaps were and what people's main issues were that would actually sort of tie together a lot of the problems that are sort of separated out and sort of working in silos. So we actually ended up putting together. Then I started putting together an idea. I've worked with the networks, with well-being networks and workplace and men's health networks in the past. I know the power of networks. I understand the power of people, and I have great faith actually in people to find the solutions to the problems. We are natural problem solvers, and I think when we collaborate, we're at our very best. And actually, that means sometimes some uncomfortable conversations and tackling some issues. But that's kind of the sort of thing we wanted to do. So I started working with Sharon. I put some of my ideas towards Sharon, and then Sharon got on board and really helped me to sort of narrow it down and hone the ideas to where we've got today. And I'm just going to be eternally grateful for that, really, because I think it really, really did kind of add huge amounts. And we are just a team, aren't we, Sharon, basically on this?
Definitely, yeah.
So the proposal was about better communication between the whole wellbeing workforce and to target information to people who need it the most. You might attend a meeting for 2 hours, you're there for 10 minutes of it, which is relevant to you. You get 100 emails, only 10 of them are relevant to you. We want to support collaboration between those who have the same objectives, who don't know each other exist. There's lots of people trying to achieve the same things. Do you even know you exist? And you could collaborate, share resources, and double down on the type of work you do. We're very keen, both of us that have a community development background, we're very keen to see smaller organisations have their work elevated. I actually think that you don't really change a system from within necessarily. I think you need those connections into the system, but I think a lot of innovation and great work is set up outside the system, and then the system adopts it. And we want to do a lot more to elevate that great work as well. We did a consultation based on that proposal, and nearly 100 of you took part in that, and we're very grateful for that. And I'm actually going to do a blog that I'm going to post over the next couple of days on the website, which will include some documents from the original proposal and a simple 2-page document which summarised the consultation as well. So you'll be able to take a little bit of a more look across that. And so we also then we intended on actually launching the network about a year ago, but what we hadn't realised is that the types of issues we'd sort of have to come on that long road. So there was GDPR, which is like the whole data protection elements. There was the consultation itself, which is absolutely helpful. But then there was joint data sharing, all these boring things. And every time we thought we'd got there, there was one more thing, wasn't there, Sharon? It was always one more thing to get to the point. But we're really grateful to kind of be here, and we've sort of knuckled down and kept working with it. And here we are. And it's honestly, it was a huge amount of encouragement from people around us. So trying to put into simple words is, what will it do? So it will improve communication between those who deliver wellbeing services, but in a personalised way. And I'm going to tell you more about the personalised way of how that will work. And why are we doing it? Well, we want to be able to speed up and massively improve the prevention of mental health and wellbeing problems at their root cause. And how crucial is that? Public health sometimes use like other words other than like root cause, for example. It might be but I think ultimately a lot of people that present with mental health problems, there's lots of other things going on in their life which affect their well-being, which actually end up leading to that, presenting with mental health problems. So it's kind of, and it's not just, it's mental health, it's well-being, but just think of it like this: there is no health without mental health, is there? And it's kind of like, this is something we sort of need to tackle. So everything is into a big pot that can affect it, and that's what it's for. That's what it's all about. When we step forward with the network from day one, we've been inspired by feedback we were given in the consultation and key principles, really. And these are going to be our key principles to start off with. And they're by no means what it will always be, but these can be added to. It's very much a members network. This is not about us. This is about the members that join up, and hopefully, this time, within a year's time, we'll be up to our capacity of 2,500. We'll be looking to expand the size of the platform. So we're talking big, and we want to be able to deliver all our information in plain English. Together with our members, we want to be able to promote clear, transparent, and honest communication between our members. That means difficult conversations. That means calling out the gaps, calling out the problems, and it does mean the elephants in the room that sometimes people don't bring up in those meetings. Together, we will explore the hard to address issues, because that's what is needed for our communities. It's quite simply, we will develop solutions. I think the starting point of anything we do which is a collective and is about collaborating with our members, where we give you the option to get around and start to develop solutions to those problems. That is the starting point. We know what the problem is, and so we're going to get. And so the very first minute of any type of event is about solutions, and we will act, not just talk. Of course, like you can walk out of lots of meetings, people feel like it's just a talking shop. We want actionable plans out there. We want things that are actually going to be acted on. So we need to be realistic about that, about our expectations as well, and manage expectations. And that's not always an easy thing, but we're sort of open to the challenge of that. And we will respond to our members' feedback because it is your network. It's 100% like there is no network. I mean, there's just a website and a platform and an idea without the members, making use of the functions. So we need you on board, and we need you to sort of understand and make use of the functions, which is why plain English makes sense. Keep it simple. Okay, so this is an extract from our website. Where you look about the South Tees Wellbeing Network, and there's a number of core functions. Some of them are obvious and overt. You'd go on the website and you'd be able to see them. And Sharon's going to sort of show you those things from the website, and some of them are actual functions that members can interact with and make use of by getting in touch with us through our contact us section on the website and make use of the functions to help your own work. And that's where the Wellbeing Network, I think, really comes into its own. So the first thing is personalized emails. So when you sign up, when you get the sign up form, you'll be asked to give your own personal details. We're not collecting a lot. It'll be name, email address, where you work, what sector you're in, that kind of thing. So we can email you. Make sure when you put your email address in, you double check that you've typed it correctly, because without that, you won't get access to the information. You'll then be asked different. So what we're going to do is when you've asked different questions about age groups you work with, which area you work in. So it could be Redcar or Middlesbrough or both. And then you'll be given 15 wellbeing topics of which you work to support. So it could be you support people who are homeless. It could be support people experiencing domestic violence. It could be men's health. And if you tick men's health as one of those options, by the way, we're moving the Borough Mancan Men's Health Network into the Wellbeing Network. So we've been moving everyone from Borough Mancan into this Wellbeing Network. So if you're part of that and you want to stay part of the Men's Health Network, make sure you tick the box for men's health. But there's two sides to ticking these boxes. One is the work or volunteering that you do. What are the topics that you cover within that work? The second part is something which is personal to you. So perhaps it's experience or qualifications you've got from a previous role or something in your past, or something you do voluntary outside of your job that you have an interest in as well. So it's about the Wellbeing Network is about give and take. Someone might be developing something. You've got previous experience in it. We want to be able to connect that experience to that person who's developing it to speed up that development and make it as good as it can be. And so that might come from something you're not doing now, but in the past. So bear that in mind. And then how does that personalization then extend to the types of functions that you can experience? So based on your sign up choices of age groups, area and topics, we might be pushing campaigns out there. So it's Mental Health Awareness Week next week, and it's the main topic around that is loneliness. With a little bit more preparation, we would have done like a full campaign prep for that and actually had a collaboration. We are going to be sending out a pack which one of my colleagues Gemma has put together, which is about kind of like up-to-date information about the campaign, some activities that are going on, some key local contacts and so on. But it's not just campaigns, it could be new services that are launching, it could be new developments, it could be commissioners who are looking to commission a piece of work and they're interested in development, and they're also interested in who might be interested in tendering for that contract. It could be events that you're running that fall within wellbeing. It could be training you're delivering that you're offering, whether it's charged for. It doesn't really matter if you're public sector, private sector. If you're doing it, we wanted to give people the choice. It's not about, oh, we can't tell people about your event or the work you're doing because you charge for it. It's actually about giving people the choice, isn't it? And also practical well-being tips. So it's kind of like, healthy, good reminders for all of us really about how to sort of maintain good well-being. So your personalized activities genuinely do have a huge impact on the type of information you'll see. And we'll do like a monthly newsletter as well, which will be completely personalized to you. So it'll look the same, but the content that comes through that newsletter again is based on your topics. And that's all to do with how we tag them in the team, the information that we put out there. And it's the content comes from you. So you might put together this is this event, this is about how you get in contact, here's the link to register, and then we just can edit, cut, paste and put that into the newsletter, tag it, and it goes to the right people. Simple as that. So one of the things we're going to be doing is we've obviously the last 2 years has seen like quite a shift in terms of well, we're all here today, aren't we? There's like currently 120 odd people in here at the moment, attending an event virtually, which didn't seem possible 3 years ago. So we want to be able to offer people to attend face-to-face and virtual wellbeing events and webinars and so on. And so if you, let's say you live in Durham, but you work in Middlesbrough, and actually you didn't want to make a trip down for a 1 hour event, you could attend virtually. And the idea is we're working with ICT so that when we have these events, we can have microphones in the room, people who are attending virtually can hear what's being said, and then we can have a PA system. So when people in the virtual presence are speaking, people in the room can hear them as well. And so we'll work with that, and obviously that'll develop and we'll understand it more as time goes on. But and there's good sustainable reasons why people would attend virtually. So we're looking to embrace basically the modern technology and see what we can do with that. Okay, so one of the key sort of functions is calls to action. So imagine you're a member, you're a community group, or you're a service and you've noticed particular issues, you've noticed a gap in the system, or you think you've noticed a gap in the system, or you're frustrated by something that's happening. You can do a call to action to the network, work with our team. We'll look at which tags we'd put into it. We'll try and find out if it's a particular issue, and we'd look across our functions actually to see what else could help, in terms of like tackling that. And so you identify the need, you come to us, we then connect those members to the wider membership based on people's personal choices. And then at the right time, once we've had the conversation, we know exactly which direction we want to take it, we organise and start with actions, whether we do a community event, whether it's a campaign, whatever it needs to be, but it's solution focused. That's the idea. So that would be a call to action. That's a function primarily for the members to make use of. And the next thing, which sort of dovetails into that, is an expression of interest. Perhaps you think you've found a gap, perhaps you think you've got an issue, but you don't know how big an issue it is. Imagine you had access to ask for help or consult with the local wellbeing workforce, knowing that there's a wellbeing network here that you can call upon. What questions would you want to ask that network when it comes to those frustrations, those things we find out there? And so again, come to the team, come to our contact us, and you can put an expression of interest. Say, look, I think I've identified something here. I'd like to know more, and see who would want to be on board to try and tackle this. And so it can be just a way of finding out if something is much of an issue, or if someone actually is already working on that and found a solution, but hasn't been able to, get the information out there to members as well. So it can be, again, very simple, but again, what's required is good membership and members to be active as part of the wellbeing network to make it work as well. Okay, and we didn't. What we want to do is, again, from day one, we need to set some boundaries really in terms of members' communications. So, in a second, in a moment, Sharon's going to tell you about directories, part of the website. And so, one of the things that we're going to do is we're not going to be doing straightforward. If you're an existing service, we're not going to be doing like an existing service like promotions, like through our newsletter, for example. If you're a new service that's launching, I think we can justify doing that. And I think the main reason at the moment is that we want to see how much volume and traffic we're going to get through our team that's going to go out to the network. What we don't want to do is suddenly hit everyone with 100 emails a day about every single service that's available locally. No, what we want services to do is make better use of registering their details onto directories that we're advertising through our website, such as Middlesbrough Matters and Mech Gateway and so on, and actually encourage more and more services to make use of those directories, so actually they become much more active and are justified in their existence. And so that's the first thing. The other thing is that when we're going to put out a new monthly newsletter, we ask that people give us a minimum of 4 weeks notice for requests of events, training, or anything. So when you're thinking about planning something and you think that actually might want to go through the network, add that into your planning processes. So you go, we'll make sure, can someone get in touch with the Wellbeing Network and have a chat with them about, how we can get this information out there. And so we dead straight about using the directories. One of the things that's so common is that, we're going to create a directory, and it's great. I mean, directories are very useful, particularly for referrers. And if you're trying to find the right service after a conversation with someone to support them, you need to rely on a good directory. That's what we're trying to put out there, is the directories that we know are kept up to date and that can be relied upon, basically. But the other thing is, for services that already exist, we're going to be doing lots of topic orientated network events, and our other functions, like things like shared journeys, where you tell video stories of lived experience and peer support, and how one person's journey interacted with different services as they went through their journey, which is another way of actually promoting services that exist as part of telling that story. We prefer to do it that way because we think it's more tangible. We think it's it makes more sense. It's more person centered, rather than just becoming like an advertising board for different services at different times. But work with us, and you put your request in and we can work with you, and over time people will start to understand more about how the functions work, and you'll be sort of more aware of it. And so it's going to take a bit of time. Give us a chance, basically. Now I'm going to hand over to Sharon to talk you through some different parts of the website and continue that presentation about the different functions. Thanks, Sharon.
Thanks, Richie. So I think it's probably stating the obvious that the internet is where most people get their information from. So we've set up our own website for the network. So the information on here is going to be available obviously 24 hours a day. So whether you're I don't know, if you're a volunteer and you're going out to see an elderly person at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, or you're a community midwife and you're delivering babies at 2 o'clock on a Saturday morning, the website is going to be here for you to get the information that you need. I think the main thing about this website is that we want it to be current, we want it to be up to date, and we want it to be a place where frontline staff will regularly visit to either see what we're up to as a network or to find the information that you need to do your job. This is effectively kind of our shop window for the network, and that's how I'm kind of looking at it. This is here to support our members. Everything's brand new on it. These are our ideas. We keep saying this network is about the members and the people who join. So we will want constant feedback on the website. If you think you can make changes to it, if we can update it, we really need the membership to come together and say, this is what we're looking for. It would be great if we could do this. So I'm a 53-year-old woman at the tender age of that, in my dotage learning web development, but I do have full access to this website so that we can change it and we can make it appropriate to the frontline staff to make sure we've got stuff. So we really want to hit the mark of it. So what I'm not going to do now is I'm not going to show you every page of the website. That will be just totally boring. Once we hit the go live button in about half an hour, you'll be able to go and have a look yourself. But there are a few key pages I did want to point out and ask you to go and definitely have a look at these. So firstly, we've got an events page. So you'll be able to sign up to any of our events on this page or any of our partners' events if they're holding stuff to address some of the key issues that the network is working towards. And we are aiming to have a real solid ongoing programme of seminars and events and training so that we can use the best evidence in it to embed good wellbeing practice into all of our work and our daily activities, which is why we are so pleased today to say that Catherine O'Neill and her team from Teesside University have come to be one of our very first speakers. So thanks again to Catherine and the guys over at Teesside for doing that. But please keep your eye open on this page because this is where we're going to display all of our future events and activities. So that'll be fun. Richie's already talked a lot about the service directory, so I'm not going to talk much about this. But one of the pages we've dedicated to, we've curated the ones that we feel that you'll use the most. This is a new site. If there's another directory that you use a lot, please let us know and we'll upload that one on there. So we really do want you to encourage you to use those directories, but also make sure your own services are listed so that people can find you, because your service might be the one thing that somebody in the front line is looking for. The first one you can see there is making every contact count. That's probably the most the newest directory that's been pulled together, and that's been pulled together by Public Health England, and that's a regional directory. So for anybody who's working at a hospital level where people are coming from all around the region to access your service in the hospital, that's a great one for anybody who works with, not just people in South Tees. It is brand new, and exactly like the Wellbeing Network, we are looking to get it populated up to date. So we're going to be putting a big push on. So if your service is not on there and you think you should be on there, do contact the directory direct. There's a contact point to make sure your services are going to go on there. But we're going to have some more. I think my colleague Jill is working on having some more awareness events about the Making Every Contact Count, so you'll learn a little bit more about that later. But then we've also got our really well established ones. So we've got Middlesbrough Matters up there, and we've got We Care, You Care, and I think Sharon and Kelly are here today, and they put a huge amount of work in to make sure that these directories remain up to date. So please do go in, please use them, and please make sure that your services are on there. We also know that across our patch, there's already a huge number of partnerships that gather together to address, you know, specific issues, and they're already doing a great job. And I might be wrong, we might be wrong, but I don't think anywhere else you will get a list of those partnerships and what is happening and who's running them and what their focus are. So another part of our website is we're dedicating to listing those partnerships. And again, I keep saying this, and I know I'm a Polly Parrot, this is the start, not the end. So if there's any partnerships to go on to this, please let us know, because we can start uploading them on. So as Richie alluded to earlier, we've grouped work streams into 15 areas of 15 topic areas. And what we've started to do, and this is just a screen grab, so I can't actually click on anything for you, but for each topic area, we're beginning to list the partnerships that already exist. We've still got loads more to add. If you're not on, please let me know. We'll definitely put you on. And the purpose of this is so you can find out about each partnership by, there's a little down arrow next to the name of each partnership. If you click on that little down arrow, this box pops up. So you learn a little bit more about it. So this one, that as an example here, we've got Middlesbrough Food Partnership, and the vision is to make the town a place where local people can eat good quality, healthy food that's easy to buy, offers value for money, and is produced locally wherever possible. Gives you a little, gives you some details about who can join, and then also how to join that. So if you wanted to speak to that partnership, that would be Joe Dunn from Middlesbrough Environmental City. And the beauty of this page is it makes visible the ongoing work that is out there and the stuff that is being done. And it also gives a wider potential partnership access to speak to these partnerships. So for instance, you might have been commissioned to deliver a food poverty initiative in Middlesbrough. You're wondering how you're going to get that out there. You're wondering how to link it into the wider work that's going on. Then contact Joe Dunn over at Middlesbrough Environmental City, and hopefully they'll be able to set you up with the right way to go about that. So please have a look through the partnerships and see if there's anything you know that is missing from there. And social media, we all have social media. I love social media. I'm a total Instagram girl. It's so fun. So we've got our range of social media that we're going to really try and push, because we have got so much access to. The written word is great. The spoken word, I think, is more powerful. And things like this give us an opportunity to promote more of the spoken word. So, for instance, we've got our Instagram. What we're going to do is trying to inspire well-being through images and short videos for practical well-being for campaigns, and to connect to the local well-being Instagram community. So if you are an Instagram girl like me, please go on, please give us a follow, and we'll upload great ideas of what you can do for your own well-being, things like that. And likewise, if you do anything for your well-being and you've got a photo or a little video you want us to put on to share with others, let me know and we'll stick that on as well, because that's what we want to do. We want to share, really. And we've got YouTube. Who hasn't got YouTube? So all of the recordings of all of the events that we run, all the training, the seminars, whatever the workshops, we're going to be recording them and we'll be uploading them to our YouTube channel. So if you miss it or you miss half, you can come back to our YouTube and just look at the video that you want to look at. But also we want to start uploading more stuff about shared journeys, about, you know, maybe stories from service users and the journey that they've been on, or you might want to upload a meditation yourself for people to share, for people to use. We'll put it all up there and we'll use that, because this does give us the opportunity for the spoken word as well as the written word, which we've got on the website. So that's our YouTube channel. We're also we also have we've got a LinkedIn account, so that's to open the visibility of the network, to draw new contacts in, to link with wider partnerships, and to link with wider members that of LinkedIn that might be interested, and it'll generate a different line of communications to promote the work that we do through LinkedIn. And our second to last page to point out is our Year of Wellbeing page, and there's nothing on this page yet. It's just an empty room, as you can see, because this is going to be the page that I want us to populate by our members. The network, the South Tees Wellbeing Network, is not about me and Richie, and I keep saying this. We've set it up, but we want membership to take over and take ownership and give us content. This will only work if our members engage with us and take part and give us the content that they feel is appropriate to increase wellbeing across our patch. So what we would like to do is we'd like to spend the next year thinking how we can embed wellbeing at the heart of everything we do. So from service delivery on the front line through to strategy and policy making, we want to make good wellbeing the driver of everything. And how do we do that, you might ask? And I wish I could answer you, because if I could answer you, I'd have it listed on this bit. But I can't answer that, and nor can Richie. But hopefully, as a collective, as a membership, especially bearing in mind how wide that membership is going to be. I mean, Richie showed you the number of people who've come here today from various sectors. Hopefully, as that collective, the membership will be able to answer the question, how do we make good wellbeing the driver for everything that we do? And this is where we're going, and I feel a bit guilty saying this, that this is where we are going to display your voices. Bearing in mind, I've turned all your mics off. But on the website, this is where your voices are going to be heard. So what we intend to do is, over the next 12 months, is to run numerous events to address the issue, to make sure wellbeing's embedded at everything we do. And then we can start to populate this page with the voices and the ideas of members. What will that look like? Again, I have no idea, because that'll be down to members and not me. So this is the room for members to fill, to populate, to make sure that wellbeing is at the heart of everything that we do. And the final bit I want you to have a look at, and this is the most important bit, this is the sign up page. So without a membership, we ain't got a network. So we are asking everybody to sign up today to get that personalised information about activity that's going on across the whole of the patch. And you would sign up through our join us buttons on the website. So if you'd like to join us today, please click on that button and we'll start the sign ups process. So as Richie said, we'll be collecting very basic, minimal data about yourself, just your name, your email, basic contact details, the sector that you work in. There's no point me sending stuff out about the older population to our schools, for instance. So we're asking which sector you work in, and also which age group that you work with, because, like I say, no point in the schools getting information about bingo for the over 60s or whatever. So we really want to personalise the information we send into you. So we're going to ask you a series of questions about which area do you work in, what age group, and which other topics are you interested in. So that on the screen at the moment, which you'll probably not be able to read because it'll be tiny on your screen, but that's the 15 topics that you can sign up to receive information about. So it may be that you work in education, so you would click the education skill, but your personal interest might be in physical and long-term conditions. You might have, you might be running an arthritis group. So the information that you want to select on there might not just be to do with your work, it might be to do with your personal life as well. So click everything that you're interested in, and we'll be able to take the information that's fed to us from our members and feed it out to the right members for whom that information will be very valuable for them to receive. When you do register, you will receive on what you'll see on the right hand side, you'll receive a wellbeing, not a wellbeing, I'm sick of saying the wellbeing, you'll receive a welcome email. the problem that we've had with the welcome emails at the moment is because the Active Campaign, which is the platform that runs this, it's quite new to our area. So a lot of organisations' firewalls are putting the emails into your junk or your spam folder. So if you sign up and you don't get an email into your inbox, please can you check your spam or your junk mail? And then if you click on that email and add that to the safe senders list, that'll prevent it going to your spam in future as well. So any of our newsletters that we send out to you won't go to the spam, if that makes sense. I've had to do that with Redcar and Cleveland Borough Council. But what we're also doing, to be honest as well, we're also working with the IT departments to get our emails whitelisted. So hopefully that won't be an ongoing problem. But in the short term, you know, that might be something that might happen to the email. I think that's us done, really. So before we go to the floor for any questions, can I just ask Jill if we've had anything come through in the comments box or the chat box, Jill, that needs answering, or any comments people want to make?
Yeah, Sharon, there's been a few. So we've had Lindsay from Northumberland and Tynemweir NHS Trust. So she's highlighted the Staff Wellbeing Hub, North East and North Cumbria ICS, which would be really useful if it's not already, to add to the website.
Oh, Lindsay, definitely. Can you get that information to me? That would be amazing.
I've popped it in the chat, a link to the ICS wide Wellbeing Hub. It's just good to share because it's open to South Tees, it's open to the ICS wide, so North East, North Cumbria.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, this is exactly what we want. That's absolutely perfect. Cheers, Lindsay. That's great. What we'll do is we'll be collecting all of these comments afterwards, and we'll be getting back to people and sorting it out. So anything that does go in the chat won't just go into an empty void. We'll take that forward, and definitely that one. That sounds great, Lindsay. Thank you so much. Was there anything else, Jill?
Yeah, there's a couple more. So Bridget's asked about Facebook and what are the plans? Are you on Facebook?
That's a good question. Actually, the simple answer at the moment is no. Yeah. So one of the things we thought about.
So much.
I know it's like I mean, at the moment in Redcar there's Feel Good, isn't there? And you've got Feel Good Lofters, Feel Good Redcar, which have got like Facebook groups, but I think you've just moved it to like a single one. Yes. And if we were going to, actually, I'd be interested to know what Bridget would say about kind of what would be the main use of the Facebook group, because I think we've got our own ideas, but we're keen to hear from members.
Yeah. Was there anything you wanted to comment, Bridget?
No, it's just when you were talking about your socials and that you're on Insta. I just wondered if you're on Facebook too, you know, just as many sort of social platforms as possible. Just information sharing and interaction.
It is, yeah. We've really tried with this because what we don't want to create is extra stuff. But can we use other Facebooks better? But if members feel that a Facebook page is the right way, because the other thing is do we have a page or do we have a group? So yeah, we would be really interested, and we've got, you know, I'm perfectly up for doing a Facebook page if our members feel that would be useful, because we've literally toyed with it, haven't we, Richie?
Yeah. So I think one of the things we toyed with was with the idea that we weren't going to post every smaller event, like could be in like a local area like the Gisborough or in Newport, in Middlesbrough, whatever it could be, because it would just be too much traffic. And we thought actually the Facebook group could be a good place where people can go on and can post those types of events, like a community board basically. But then we started wondering whether or not these are sort of things that could be for each area, for each locality, and then is that for someone else to organise? So I know that in Middlesbrough they have 2 locality working groups, one for North Hornsby and Newport, which work really well. The Facebook groups are fantastic, and in like I said, in Redcar you've got a couple of feel good groups. So I think at the moment, let's keep the conversation going on it, because I think if the demand's there and people can kind of perhaps think they could take some ownership of it and start using it that way, it could be useful. But at the moment we're gearing towards the directories for services, and then new developments as they're happening, if that makes sense. And it's just try and work out capacity. There's only myself and Sharon. We're looking to hopefully bring on support for the team in the future. So we were just a touch nervous about traffic and wanting to sort of focus on the bigger areas of work. So absolutely something to consider for the future, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so it's a definite maybe, that one, Richard.
Yeah,
I think.
it's a definite maybe. That's right.
Is there anything else there, Jill?
There was, yes. Just to say, we've popped the Feel Good Redcar Cleveland Facebook link in the chat. So if anybody would like to have a look at that and follow those pages, that would be great. And there are a few positive comments around Facebook being a really useful platform. So like you say, something to consider. Susie has asked about the network and obviously thinks this is a fantastic piece of work, but wondering whether it's inclusive of freelancers and those who are self-employed.
Oh, we had this conversation just last week, and very, very definitely the answer to that is a very definite yes.
And most of the directories will take registrations as well. So I know Middlesbrough Matters definitely will take registrations from people from private sector, 100%.
Yeah, and we've been, I mean, Darren, hi Darren from Duco Digital, Darren Winter, he's been working with us, setting up the platform, setting up the website, setting up the platform, and Darren runs the Redcar Business Network, and this is something we've had a number of conversations with Darren about, is how do we as a wellbeing network support those private providers, and how do we also get them the business support that they also need. So hopefully, because it just crosses everything, and I'm seeing those businesses as being kind of our first line of defence against mental health problems, because they're in the community, they're working now, they're doing a great job, and they offer, and I think it was Mike Marlin who said to me ages ago, choice is the key, and I think those groups offer the choice. So we're working with Darren to see what we can do, and can we run an event later in the year directly for those. Was there anything you wanted to add, Darren, to that one? Because this is something that
I think you've said it all, Sharon. And yeah, so we're looking to get an event to run alongside with Sharon and Richie in November. So it gives us plenty of time to organise it. And there are a lot of members in the Redcar and Cleveland Business Network who fall into the health and wellness category. Certainly from the private sector, but also there is a demand for the public side to be working with private sector more as well, and that's a lot of the businesses. It's a voluntary run group, so there's no profit there, there's no money there, and what it's about kind of fits very well with what Richie and Sharon's described today as the kind of the ethos for the Wellbeing Network, in the fact that it's about collaboration and helping everybody out. And so this event will be very much aimed towards helping the private sector organisations and small businesses kind of understand the wider opportunities of collaborating and working together, as well as just promoting what they do. So I think it's going to be a fantastic event. It's going to be a big event. I think it'll be one of the biggest that we probably would have ever run. So it's really exciting, and I'm sure that Richie and Sharon would be very, very much open to ideas, or if you want to get involved. And we're going to have different guest speakers talking about different subjects about health and wellness and the business community as well. So everything's going to tie in really nicely. So I'm sure we'll come back to you with more information on that.
brilliant. That's fabulous. Thanks a lot, Darren.
Can I just say as well, they always say you forget to thank the people that you should have at the top of your list, and we did forget to thank you, Darren, for, because it's been like your advice has been just essential in throughout all this. So thank you for tolerating us for the last year.
Are you welcome? It's been brilliant to work with you and Sharon, and I've never, I shouldn't probably say this publicly, but you both of you been so focused and dedicated, and it has been really hard work. And Richie's not telling a lie, that it's had to both Sharon and Richie have had to overcome a lot of different hurdles and challenges, technically, legally, and otherwise, to get to this point. So it is really exciting. And I'm going to kind of steal a march, Richie, and kind of like take your lead, what you said about this project right from the very beginning, that potentially this is probably one of the biggest and the first type of these projects in the UK. So hopefully, we're going to have other areas around the UK be looking at, the South Tees Wellbeing Network, and try to mirror this best practice. So hopefully you all feel really proud of being in this group and being invited on this call today, because it is a really big deal.
Oh, thanks.
You
Darren.
can say those things publicly whenever you want, Darren. I've got no problem whatsoever.
Yeah, we'll put it on the website as well. So does that answer the question, Susie? Is that okay? Fab. So was there anything else there, Jill?
Yeah, Amanda and Katie have asked questions around the joining and the sign-in form. So if you work in one area of Middlesbrough, for example, or volunteer in another, or have two different roles with different hats on, do you fill in one registration form?
Yes.
Or do you need to fill in two?
No, just one, and you'll get all the information about both Redcar and Middlesbrough, about all the topics you're interested in. So you only need to sign up once and just register for all of your interests. I mean, you could click everything if you wanted, but yeah, no, just one, please.
If you've got a separate email address for the two different roles and you wanted to keep it separate, you've got no problem with you registering twice as well. So if you wanted to register once for your employment, so that it doesn't mix up the volunteering with your employment, that's fine. You could register twice and do that as well. No problem.
Fab. Yeah. Fab. So any more there, Jill? Sorry.
Yeah, just scanning down people who were sharing content for the website. So Charlotte, Deputy Chair for the Maternity Voice Partnership, would be great to be added to the website.
Oh, definitely, Charlotte. We'll put you on our hit list of people to contact.
You see, this is it. Even, I mean, we're quite well connected in public health, and I've always said that public health are the right place to do this. But I don't think I've heard of the South East Maternity Voices Partnership, and I chair a group around perinatal and mental health. So how fantastic is that we've got that new connection as well, and can get you involved. I mean, if you tick 0 to 5, it's quite likely you'll get an email at some point inviting you to get involved, in different types of work that are going on around that age group. So that would be another one. So thank you for that, Charlotte. That's great.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and just loads of different opportunities coming through. Katrina's pointed out how we could link in the COVID Champions and Health Champions Network. Emma's looking at, in terms of collecting the shared journeys and stories, where would people send this information to?
Right, so basically when it comes to shared journeys, that's very much the ethos of that is, just to be clear, is about telling the stories of people who are being supported often by different services. A bit like the Borough Man, if people are familiar with the Borough Man Can campaign, we tell the stories of men, and it's all about kind of like what have been the touch points that have helped them, and often obviously it's themselves ultimately, but who supported them, and it gives you people more. It's almost a better way of doing it. To send that through to us, if you start off by going through the contact form, let us know what you've got, and then we'll contact you back and arrange where you can upload the video to and the content. So just do everything through the contact form, contact us initially, and then we'll let you know exactly all the details of how to upload the media and so on. There was shared journeys was mentioned. There was something else mentioned there as well in that comment. Sorry.
I think that was Emma's, wasn't it? Positive experiences of well-being. Right. So yeah, it's all the same thing, Emma. We'd love to do more video content because we think it's really powerful. We love the idea of stories telling a story, obviously, but the spoken word is so powerful, and I really would love us, and I love a YouTube video, and I love an Instagram, and I love a picture. So for my mind, let's, I think they do tell a bigger picture. They tell a bigger picture than a few words.
I know, I did promise some, Sharon, so I'm sorry I haven't sent them over yet, but
don't worry. No, this is the big, and I keep saying this, and like I say, I am a Polly Parrot. This is the beginning, Emma. So this isn't the end by any means. This is where we're going to start to do this. It's took us a long way to get here, but this is the start. So this is, our springboard anyway. So was there anything else? Because I'm conscious we're getting to 11 o'clock.
Yeah. I think just to summarise, there's so many suggestions and ideas, so it's just showing the network is already doing its job you've set out to achieve. Suggestions around considering Twitter as you move forward, and I know there's other people made connections there around the Marie and Darren through the business network. And I haven't managed to pick up everything, so I do apologise, but there's lots of very positive feedback. And people in great support of what you're doing.
We'll
get these. We've got plans to put our first newsletter is going to be out in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll make sure we get these, like things like the business network and so on. we'll get these added into the newsletter. We'll make it clear about how people can blog and about their well-being. And I even think, like, I can think of a couple of charities I worked with before the pandemic who had produced 3 or 4 page reports where they demonstrated like how they'd use well-being. And I know there's loads of projects locally who are ahead of us. They're absolutely ahead of us, and we want. And some of them aren't huge projects, but they're fantastic, and we want to give them the chance to be able to share their work with others. This is what it's about. It's about, we have some brilliant people out in our communities. We don't need to bring in international experts, that's for sure. We will do at times, that's for sure, but we have experts in our communities doing fantastic work that we want to elevate and get out there. So there will be plenty of time.
We really need to showcase them. I mean, I've seen so far Whip It Up are here today. If you've never, honestly, they're absolutely amazing. And Imaginarium's here today. They're fantastic, and they're just a couple that I've just seen briefly because I'm still in panic mode of making sure my screenshots are still on the screen. But they do some amazing work, and we really want to, you know, they're the people we want to drive the network forward, because they're the ones that hit the front line, and they're the ones that know what's happening, and they're the ones that have got the information that we need as a system to put things on track for well-being embedded at the heart of everything. Right.
Okay.
I think we're going to have to go on to the opening sheet. Do you think?
Going live to the
live. We're going to go live. We hope this is going to work, everybody. So Richie's been practicing his NASA voice for 2 weeks just so he can do this. So we're going to have a countdown, and then Jill's going to put our website into the chat. So as soon as Richie's done his countdown, Jill's going to post the page, and then you can all be able to have a look at our website. Go on then, Richie. You've been practicing for weeks.
I haven't been practicing for weeks, and it was your idea, and I feel embarrassed just at the idea. No, it's great. Here we go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a shot. There we go. www.teeswellbeingnetwork.org. Get yourself on there. Click the sign up button, and it'll take you through, and you can get registered right now. And the thing I'd say, while we've got this 15 minutes as well that I'd add to this, is if you all get registered today and then go away today, forward the email to one other person with the website and say, I think you should register for this, and then we'll double the numbers. And then in a week's time, we'll ask you to do the same. We'll ask all members to do the same. And then a couple of weeks after that, we'll ask all members to do the same. Just that one action will get our numbers up very, very quickly. This isn't about, it's not about kind of an economy where there's no money to be made here. We're still working out exactly the longer term plan. But I think already there's a lot of keenness on it. But it's ultimately about, this is the Wellbeing Network will work so much better with the greater the numbers of the membership added into people being active with it as well. So.
And as you might have gathered as well, this is what the work that we're doing here is incredibly serious work, and we have put a lot into this because we're so dedicated to having it done. But we are also up for having a laugh as we go along as well, because there's nobody dafter than me and Richie, so that's the most important bit.
So I want to put apologies to those. It seems like the confirmation email, like with the link to come in today, went into a lot of people's junk email, and so. Apologies for that, and any emails I've received while we've been going on, I've sent the information on. So if people are late in, actually, I completely understand why you are, and apologies that you didn't get that straight through. When you register, you're going to get, it's going to trigger a welcome email, which has got loads of information with different links for how you can interact with the network as well. So just have a read of that, but you almost certainly will find that going in your junk email. If you use Outlook to manage your email, if you right click on the email in junk, if that's where it is, and there'll be a button that says not junk. And if you click on that, it will always go straight into your inbox as well. So that's like immediately upon registration, you'll get an email and you'll know exactly how to address that straight away. So right from the off, you can get that dealt with. All right. Okie dokie.
So we're going to give everybody 10 minutes now to just have a look around our website, chance to sign up. Well, please do come back at 11:15, because that's when our colleagues from Teesside University are going to run our very first practical introduction to positive psychology workshop. And I've seen the slides; they look really interesting, and I'm really excited, and I can't wait for it to start as well. So we'll be starting that at 11:15.
So Sarah Turner put a comment on there about, not sure if this is relevant, but wanted to mention there is also the Psychological Professions Network North East in Yorkshire for professionals and stakeholders for NHS psychological services. 100% is relevant. And what we'd say is if you go on the Contact Us page, if you look at the partnerships page and look at the information, it's usually the name of the network, what the purpose is, who can join, and then the contact to do it. And that's how we've kept it simple. So if you can send us through on the contact form that information for that network, we'll get it added to the website. No problem.
Oh, Amanda, I love that comment. Time to take off and collaborate. I love that. I'll actually do another image around that as well. I can see that now.
For any NHS colleagues, it's blocked the website for me.
Oh, do you know?
So I'll put it through to IT and see if they'll unblock it.
It worked for me. It worked for me.
Yeah.
In the community, yeah, NHS, yeah.
This is one of the problems that we've got with IT is because it's a new platform, firewalls don't like new things, we're told. But once more people access it, apparently, then it's more likely to go on the whitelist. And we are working with some of the big IT teams to try and make sure our stuff is whitelisted because it is safe. But I mean, I can totally understand the firewall thing.
Can we give, that was Joe, wasn't it, saying there? Was that you, Joe, saying about block? Is it the website that's blocked or the registration page?
The website.
Website. Okay, so what we can do, we can post, just to help you out today, I think, so you can get registered, we can post the link.
Oh, thank you.
Because it's a separate platform that it takes you through to.
Okay.
And so let's get that posted for you.
Thank
Are
you.
you doing that, Richie?
Yeah, and if Joe, if you're happy to share that with IT, that'd be really helpful for us. Because we do, yeah.
It's letting a few people are messaging in the chat to say it's let them in and they're NHS, but it's obviously don't like me. But yeah, I'll do it the other way. Thanks.
Yeah, hopefully the more people that use the site, the more the IT firewalls will see that it's not a apparently it's all to do with firewalls and stuff.
Thank you, Charlotte. We'll get that done. We'll get you added on. That Maternity Voices partnership, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm with DWP and security won't let me access it. So I'll have to set up permissions so I can add that on and share it.
Fantastic. Right. I'll go on the website and get the link that takes you through and see if the registration platform works for you. That'll be interesting. But yeah, at DWP, I was actually thinking DWP's probably got one of the tightest firewalls, hasn't it, in terms of what you can access. I don't know how easy it is to get those things unlocked for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can ask.
Right.
Yeah, Katie, if you just give it 5 minutes, if you still don't get one in 5 minutes, an email, sorry, welcome email. If my email's on the screen there now, if you could just drop me an email and let us know. It did take 5 minutes to come through mine. I think the firewalls hold them back. I'm not sure. I'm not that techie. I'm kind of learning web development, but with Darren, it's nearly killing him.
I'm just smiling, Sharon. No,
He had
it
really
can
long
take.
flowing hair before he started teaching me tech.
Yeah, it can take a few minutes to come through. It just depends. Every internet service provider is different, and obviously, then if it's been routed through an organisation, then things can slow down as well. So yeah, it's yeah, just if you don't get it within sort of maybe half an hour or an hour, then definitely flag it up. And don't forget to check your junk mail and spam folders as well, because sometimes it can just land into there because this is a new domain name. So again, this is a technical thing, but as the internet service providers are getting to learn that this will be a trusted domain, for the moment, it's got no history. So unfortunately, sort of things land in there. There's nothing we can really do about that. But that's why it's really important, like Richie and Sharon was saying, that everybody going to the website, people signing up, clicking on the links when they receive the emails, all of that really helps Richie and Sharon make this a trusted domain. You might also find that, I don't know what Richie and Sharon's feeling is on this, but if you don't receive, or if you're having technical problems, then you could use your own personal email address as well. Because you should land better in your personal email boxes rather than routed through some of the public organisations' addresses, just for the moment.
Yeah, the public organisations have got such heavy firewalls. I mean, obviously everybody must know now that, we had a cyber attack 2 years ago, so the firewalls are so tough to get through. It's not to say that it won't in time, because we are working with our guys over at IT to unblock that, but everything does take time to do it. So please just bear with us while we sort out these little issues.
If Fiona Green had put that on there, can you register on a non-DWP device but use your DWP email? That would make sense.
That would make sense.
Yeah, 100%. So pick it, maybe try it through your phone. Oh, Emma Shaw, just use your local partnership information to contact someone about sustainable work lunches. I love it. Those connections are already starting to fire up. It's about you guys, it's not about us. It's just about creating the
Caroline, would it be okay for me to share the details of the teas with elected members in Middlesbrough and Rick? That would be amazing. That would be fantastic. Caroline Brenny?
Yes.
Yeah, is that okay, Sharon and Richie?
Oh, Caroline, that would be
really interesting. They work with people all the time in the communities, and that a resource would be fantastic for them to look at. That's constant.
That would be, we would love it. That will be absolutely perfect for us. We've got a couple today. No, Mary's here today from Redcar.
Yeah, no worries. I'll see if we can get something sent out. Thanks, Sharon.
Lovely. That's fabulous. Thanks, Caroline.
Is there a way of, I know we haven't got any local elections anytime soon. I don't think we've got the elections in 2 days around here, have we? But when we do have them and you get new elected members, is that something that can be built into this is one of the things we're asking people, of course, is building it into your processes. So when you get new staff, you get new volunteers, you ask them to join the network so we can keep it alive, and current.
Yeah, we can certainly do that from Democratic Services team. I can make sure that we add it in so that people join automatically when they become a newly elected member. We've got a by-election coming up, so we'll get a new member.
Of course.
Yeah,
right.
So yeah, no worries at all. We can do that. Thanks very much.
That's brilliant. Thanks. You. Appreciate that.
Cheers, Rachel. I'll be sending you more information than you'll ever know. So beyond housing can push it on. You'll be sick of me within a week. Well, you're sick of me now, but you'll be even more sick of me within a week.
We need to create our own blacklist.
I'll be on Rachel's blacklist, Rachel Crooks's blacklist. Thanks, Bridget, for sharing with the Middlesbrough Social.
Oh, that's huge.
That's amazing. Right,
yes,
we're nearly a minute to go.
Sharon.
Sorry?
We are.
You're always on my blacklist, Sharon.
Say
it like it is. Following the values of the Wellbeing Network already.
Yeah, there needs to be 6-1 in there, be active and be blacklisted needs to be at the bottom.
I don't know. Right, so we're nearly ready for Teesside. Our team from Teesside University to do our first seminar. I know, Richie, you've worked a lot with Catherine, haven't you, so far with stuff and the PE stuff, and that's going to be coming out soon. I'll let you talk about that.